Hello friends, welcome to engineering tutorial. So today we are going to start uh, we are going to resume our discussion on material science and engineering, and previously I have posted around 10 or 11 videos related to this subject, basic introductory videos. So we are going to take our discussion forward from that point. So before watching the next series of videos, I would request you to please watch all the previous 10 or 11 videos and then watch these the next videos. Okay, so previously we have discussed the basic introductory concepts related to material science and engineering, about the classification of engineering materials, their various properties, and especially about the mechanical properties. Various types of mechanical properties we discussed. In this video, we are going to discuss about the testing of a particular mechanical property, which is called as toughness. About toughness, we have already discussed. So, in this video, we are going to discuss the various ways, tests that are performed on a material to examine its toughness values. So toughness of a material is basically its capacity to absorb energy until the point of fracture, that is permanent deformation. So all the mechanical properties like hardness, toughness, fatigue, creep, anything, they are related to the stress strain curve. About stress, strain, the curve, about the various points on the curve, the key points we have already discussed, so we will not repeat it again. So please watch the video related to stress strain curve. Okay, so it is obtained from the stress strain curve, the toughness value, and its unit is given by energy per unit volume. Okay, so deformation or permanent deformation, there are different types, which is reversible and irreversible. So when stress is applied on the material, it undergoes strain, that is change in length, the dimension, and that results in deformation. So if the deformation is reversible, that the original shape and size can be recovered, then it is called as elastic deformation. And if it is irreversible, then it is called as plastic deformation. So in order to test the various mechanical aspects, various types of tests are performed to check their mechanical properties. So they fall under the following two categories, broad categories: non-destructive tests and destructive tests. Non-destructive, in which the material remains intact after the test, and destructive, it gets damaged or destroyed. So a sample material is taken. So various types of mechanical tests are performed. About tensile test we have discussed. Then this is the impact or toughness test, then the hardness test, fatigue test, and creep test. So generally, for toughness, the impact test which is used, they are of two types. They are called as Izod test and Charpy test. Both of them are the same in their nature. The basic setup, everything, operating principle, they are the same, with a minor difference. Okay, so both Izod and Charpy test for toughness, it consists of a setup which consists of a pendulum with a striking edge, or a hammer kind of a setup, and it moves after it's fixed at a particular initial height. It is released from that height, and when it is released from that height, it strikes the test material which is placed on the anvil, the test piece, the specimen. Okay, so this moving hammer or pendulum, it strikes the specimen, and then after striking, the amount of distance, or the, the height it acquires after striking, that is compared to find out the potential energy of the pendulum. The initial potential energy, then the final potential energy after striking, depending on how much height it acquires after striking. Okay, the initial height, the final height, and then by calculating the difference, the toughness value is determined from the potential energy. So that is given by a calibrated scale setup. So the difference between IZOD and Charpy test is that in IZOD test and Charpy test, there is a slight fluctuation in the length of the pendulum. Okay, the length of the pendulum varies. In some case it is small, in some case it is large. So that is what separates the IZOD and Charpy test. But all the operating principles, they are the same. So the basic operating principle is that the swinging pendulum with a striking edge is allowed to fall from a certain height. So here this pendulum, it is allowed to fall from this height. Okay, from this height it is allowed to fall, and then it moves and strikes the specimen and moves up to this point. Okay, it moves up to this point. So this is the initial position, this is the final position after striking. Okay, after striking. So the potential energy values at both the initial position and the final position, it is determined. Okay, the potential energy values at both the initial position, which is dependent on the height from the ground level, at both the initial and final positions, they are determined, and by calculating the difference between the two, the toughness value is determined. So here, according to this setup, let's say the pendulum which is at this initial position, let's say it is at a height of capital H from the ground level. Okay, the initial position, I'm talking about this initial position, it is at a height of capital H, and the angle with respect to this position from the center, we can say it is given by alpha. Now when it strikes, okay, it strikes the test piece, some amount of energy is lost because of the striking, because of the obstruction, because of the striking the test piece, the specimen, some amount of potential energy is lost. So after it reaches the final position, okay, the full swing, the final position where it reaches, let's say that height is small h, this, and the angle with respect to that position is beta, measured from the same point, it is beta. W is the weight of the pendulum. Okay, W is the weight of the pendulum, and R is the distance of the pendulum from the center. Okay, now the mathematical expression for the initial energy, the initial potential energy, is WH or mgh. W is equal to mg, weight is equal to mass into acceleration due to gravity, where m is the mass of the pendulum, we can say. So we can write the initial energy, initial potential energy is WH at the initial position, here WH. Now here H, we can write it as R into 1 minus cos alpha, because see, this total distance is also equal to R. Okay, from here to here, this is also R, the radius is fixed, this is also equal to R. From here to here, this is also equal to R, the radius is fixed. Now this much portion, okay, we know cos alpha is equal to base by hypotenuse. Okay, cos alpha is equal to base by hypotenuse. So this much portion is subtracted to get h, this much portion is subtracted. So this much portion, when it gets subtracted, we get this value. Okay, WR into 1 minus cos alpha. So h is equal to r minus r cos alpha. This much value is equal to r cos alpha. This much value, this portion is equal to r cos alpha. Cos alpha is equal to base by hypotenuse. Okay, so this base is equal to r cos alpha. Okay, now similarly, when it reaches the final position, the potential energy at this value is equal to same W multiplied with small h. Now the small h value, again depending on this beta angle, it is r minus small h. R minus small h. This total value from here to here is r, and when it's subtracted r minus small h, this much value, it gets equal to this small h value. Okay, total r, this much, from here to here it is, from here to here it is r. Okay, from here to here it is r. When this much portion is subtracted from this r, this much portion is subtracted, we will get this h value. Okay, so r minus this r cos beta, this much is r cos beta. Cos beta is again base by hypotenuse. This is also equal to r. Okay, this value is also equal to r. The radius is fixed. This much value is also equal to r. Okay, so this much value will be equal to r cos beta. This from here to here it is r cos beta. Please forgive my handwriting here. So this much value is also equal to r cos beta. So when it is subtracted from this r, we will get the value of h. Okay, so here the final energy is equal to W into r minus cos beta. So the difference is called as the rupture energy, the amount of energy which is lost because of the striking of the specimen by the hammer or the striking edge. So that is given by W capital H minus W small h, the initial potential energy minus the final potential energy, that is given by WR into cos beta minus cos alpha. So here are the respective values, where W is the weight of the pendulum, m is the mass of the pendulum, g is acceleration due to gravity, h is the initial height at the initial position, r is the radius or the distance of the center of gravity from the rotational axis of the pendulum, h is the final height, alpha is the angle of fall, the initial from the initial position, and beta is the angle of rise, the final position. Okay, so this much value is the rupture energy, which is a measure of toughness, and it is calibrated to give the toughness values depending on this scale. Okay, so also this rupture energy or fracture energy, it gives us a measure of the ductility and brittle nature of materials. So it is a typical stress strain curve for a brittle material, where the x-axis represents strain, the y-axis represents stress, and the area under the stress strain curve, it is a measure of the toughness. Okay, so it is the stress strain curve for a brittle material, and this is the stress strain curve for a ductile material, okay, which undergoes more elongation up to the point of fracture. So here you can say the area under the stress strain curve is high, so toughness value is high. Here area under the stress strain curve is low, so toughness is low. Okay, so materials having higher toughness have the greater the area under the stress strain curve and are ductile in nature, and materials with lower toughness or lower area under the stress strain curve, they are brittle in nature. Okay, so here we have discussed about the Izod and Charpy test. They are the same thing, the same operating principle, only the length of the pendulum, okay, this R value is different. In some cases it is short and in some cases it is long. Okay, for IZOD and ChartP test. That is the difference. So this is the impact test for measurement or the examination of toughness of materials. Okay, so I hope you like this video, and please subscribe my channel Engineering Tutorial for more such videos related to engineering, science and technology. Have a great day. Thank you very much.